The German Type 212CD by TKMS has now been selected by 3 countries as their future submarine: Germany, Norway and Canada. With as many as 24 of these next-generation subs ordered at the time of making this video, with potentially more orders coming, it's a good time for our channel to take a closer look at all of its known details, in addition to some developmental background. So, let's get started. As we're starting with the ship's background, the known technical specifications and features will be discussed later on. If that's what you're really here for, go to this time in the video. But in terms of program history, most of our information comes from extensive write-ups on the ship by the websites 1945 and navaltechnology.com. The latter explains that it was back in June 2017 that the governments of Germany and Norway signed an agreement for the joint development, procurement, operation and maintenance of the submarines. The main companies involved in developing the subs include Germany's TKMS and its business unit for naval electronic systems, Atlas Elektronik, as well as Norway's Kongsberg Defence and Aerospace. TKMS is the lead for the overall submarine project, but the aforementioned companies would go on to form a joint venture known as KTA Naval Systems in October 2017 for the purposes of developing the combat system for the boats. Named the Orca Combat System, KTA Naval Systems calls it a unique submarine combat system with unprecedented functionality and performance. But we'll get into this part of the ship a little later on in this video. In 2021, 4 years after signing the agreement for joint development, an initial €5.5 billion contract was secured with TKMS for 6 Type 212CD submarines, 4 for Norway and 2 for Germany. The value of this first contract, €5.5 billion. The site ESD notes that despite the shared Type 212 nomenclature, the Type 212CD is much larger than the previous Type 212A and is essentially a new design. The CD in the name stands for Common Design, which is a nod to the multinational nature of the project to serve German and Norwegian defense interests and the goal of seeing other nations join the program. Work on the first sub commenced at TKMS Kiel in September 2023, and it looks like work on 2 more subs has commenced. Indeed, a July 2026 write-up by German site Hartpunkt states that construction of the 4th 212CD is scheduled to begin this year, later in 2026. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we should cover the other orders placed by Germany and Norway, and then Canada. In December 2024, Germany would exercise an option to increase its order with 4 additional submarines at a reported cost of €4.7 billion. Subsequently, in December 2025, the Norwegian government increased its order by 2, with a cost of about €4 billion. It was noted that the significant price increase from the initial order was partly explained by inflation, system and weapon upgrades, and a financial contribution towards the cost of establishing a second production line in Germany to ensure timely delivery. And then, of course, for the sake of completeness, we have to mention Canada's decision to go with the 212CD, stating an intention to order up to 12. Now, at the time we're making this video, Canada has made its choice but has yet to formally sign a contract, and so no specific dollar amount or initial order quantity have been finalized. In terms of other prospective customers, the Netherlands initially showed an interest in the 212CD program, but eventually opted for Naval Group's Barracuda family. Poland had also expressed interest in the type, but ultimately selected the A26 from Saab. And so we are left with Greece, which is currently evaluating a proposal for 4 new submarines to replace its aging Type 209 fleet. It's said that a final contract decision is expected as early as 2028, with delivery slated for around 2035. The website Meta Defense reported in May 2026 that the Hellenic Navy had shortlisted 2 final candidates, the Black Sword Barracuda proposed by Naval Group and the Type 212CD. One has to wonder if Canada's decision will boost TKMS's chances with Greece, given an expanded supply chain and the prospect of increased interoperability with more NATO allies. But that's a conversation for a different video. Now, getting to the design and features of the 212CD, the sub is non-nuclear and has a length of 74 meters, a beam of 10 meters, and a height of 13 meters. The surface displacement of the submarine is said to be 2,500 tons. Submerged displacement is said to be 2,800 tons. The submarine features a diamond-shaped design to ensure significant target echo strength, or TES, reduction. This is one of the features that truly distinguishes it from other submarine designs and their rounded, tube-shaped hulls. The Site 1945 notes that the pressure hull of the Type 212CD is constructed from non-magnetic steel, which is a deliberate and expensive choice intended to defeat a specific sensor, sensitive magnetic anomaly detectors carried by maritime patrol aircraft. Naval technology adds that fuel cell-based air-independent propulsion allows it to stay submerged for several weeks with no extra signatures. Adding to its stealth, the submarine's fuel cell system has a silent energy converter and extension to a conventional propulsion system. The propulsion system combines diesel engines and hydrogen fuel cell-based air-independent technology as power supplies, ensuring long dives without surfacing. Said to be suitable for operations worldwide, they're also designed for the deployment of special operations forces, something we'll get into a little more detail on later in this video. As mentioned earlier, the 212CD submarines will be equipped with a new combat system called Orca, developed by KTA Naval Systems. This fully integrated system is set to combine maximum adaptability with a high degree of IT security. Orca architecture enables flexible integration of third-party systems, local content, and adaptable manning concepts, and is scalable for both new builds and refits. The system also claims to support enhanced AI operations with centralized data storage, databases, and processing capabilities, allowing integration of customer algorithms. For 212CD weapon systems, the submarines will be fitted with IDAS, the Interactive Defense and Attack System for submarines. While it's obviously a biased source, TKMS says that IDAS is a, quote, game changer for submarine operations. The system makes it possible for the first time to defend against anti-submarine helicopters from a submerged position, without sensor exposure, with the operator remaining in the decision chain at all times. With IDAS, the missile is ejected from the 212CD standard 21-inch/533mm torpedo tube, and the rocket motor is ignited underwater outside the submarine. TKMS goes on to explain that the booster ignites as the missile breaks through the water surface, propelling it towards the target area. The missile is attached to a fiber optic link, and this is what allows the operator in the submerged submarine to detect and engage a hostile helicopter with full control maintained all the way to impact. It's added that IDAS uses proven infrared seeker head technology derived from the IRIS-T air defense program from Diehl Defense. 1945 says the baseline version of this weapon has a reported range of around 20 kilometers with multiple missiles carried in a single torpedo tube. Furthermore, the site says that IDAS doubles as a weapon against small surface craft and coastal targets. The Type 212CD is also slated to carry the Sea Spider anti-torpedo torpedo, which is a hard-kill system to intercept and destroy an incoming enemy torpedo in the water. True North Strategic Review notes that this defensive measure is 1.94 meters in length, 210 millimeters in diameter, and weighs about 107 kilograms. It uses a solid rocket motor for rapid acceleration and a small warhead optimized to rupture or disable an incoming torpedo. Magellan Aerospace is involved in designing, developing, and qualifying the rocket motor and warhead sections, making this one of Canada's most significant contributions to the 212CD program. And finally, the 212CD will also be capable of firing heavyweight torpedoes fired from its 6 tubes, as well as the ability to lay mines. We should also note that navaltechnology.com had stated that the submarines would be fitted with Naval Strike Missile or NSM-type anti-ship guided missiles, although other sources state that this is unconfirmed and merely under consideration. Naval News speculates on this topic as well, adding that these would more specifically be JSM SLs, with the letters standing for Joint Strike Missile Submarine Launched. Some sites also note that the 3SM Tirfing supersonic anti-ship/land attack cruise missile is being considered for the sub, which would complement usage of the JSM. Unlike IDAS information, however, we couldn't find any official confirmation on Tirfing, nor NSM, nor JSM capability for the 212CD. For crew, TKMS says the ship can accommodate 28 personnel plus X, an undisclosed additional number of passengers, which could include special forces deployed through the sub's torpedo tubes. It's added that the 212CD design/layout includes a storage and preparation area for special forces. Unfortunately, a lot of the submarine's performance figures, such as range, speed, max depth, and endurance, remain classified, although a Google search will spit out AI-generated results seemingly associated with the 212A and not the 212CD. Wikipedia states an endurance of 41 days but doesn't offer a source for this piece of information, while we're guessing other sites possibly use Wikipedia figures. In the words of the website True North Strategic Review, the information available online varies greatly. There are numerous contradictions, some due to outdated info, and others simply because TKMS doesn't really like to discuss things. We're just crossing our fingers, hoping that we haven't included too much outdated information in this video. But that's everything solid or semi-solid that we could find about the 212CD from TKMS. As we noted in our previous video on this boat, the first Norwegian submarines will be delivered in 2029. NTI.org states that 2 boats will be delivered to Germany in 2032 and 2034, while Canada will receive its first delivery from around 2033. It's added that the first 4 submarines for Canada will actually be delivered quote-unquote ahead of schedule in 2034, due to Germany and Norway relinquishing some of their delivery slots to help seal the deal for TKMS. The war zone highlights that Germany had said it would provide Ottawa the opportunity to manufacture components or even undertake construction of complete submarines in local Canadian shipyards. If that becomes a reality, it would be a pretty big deal. But at least for the first few subs, they'll be coming from German shipyards. So what do you think of the 212CD? Is it a program that Greece should join as well? Let us know by leaving a comment.